A family settled in for a night watching the horror movie The Deliverance, a film based on the 2011 real-life demon house case of Lawya Ammons. At first, everything seemed normal, just another night of scary movies. But halfway through the film, the power suddenly went out, plunging the living room into total darkness. The mood in the house changed instantly. The family claims they felt a heavy presence, as if someone had just entered the room with them. Terrified, they retreated to their bedrooms, hoping that whatever was there would stop. But whatever entered the house that night didn't seem to be finished. Watch closely. After that night, the family stopped watching horror movies. Some viewers believe that movies based on real events can awaken fears and emotions, things that could attract unwanted attention. Others argue that it was nothing more than nerves, unsettled by the movie and the sudden blackout. But there are also those who believe that once something manifests, it doesn't always go away on its own. The real question now is whether this was an isolated incident or the beginning of something that waits for the house to be silent again. What do you think? A camera pans across a white room with antique furniture and creepy collectibles, which is already pretty bad. But when they stop at a tall old mirror, they seem surprised to find a child's silhouette filling the frame. They study the girl with trembling gazes as two identical orbs float above her head and two faint points of light appear, almost as if she were turning her head slightly. I suppose this shadow girl could simply be a large doll. However, even if that were the case, as far as I know, only the eyes of the living can reflect light in that way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lifeless doll should never have those shining eyes. The person recording sees the eyes and quickly runs up the stairs. Later, they would refer to the event only as the girl with shining eyes from the darkness. An Amazon delivery woman named Leah was recording her route while picking up packages from a local storage facility. She had been working at the same stop for months and nothing unusual had ever happened. But that day, the moment she entered the building, she says she felt something strange. Not dangerous, just something off, and she had no idea that this feeling was about to be justified.
These people think I'm crazy. Look at this shit. Just look. Do you see that shit? Do you all see that shit? Hey, look at this. I've got it on camera.
As Leah walks inside, the camera pans across long rows of metal storage lockers. Most of them are tightly closed except for a small group near the center that are open. Confused, she approaches and starts closing them one by one, making sure the doors fit properly. Everything appears normal when she steps back, but moments later, the camera catches something unsettling nearby. A locker she just secured begins to creak. Slowly, the metal door swings wide open on its own before stopping. There's no one nearby, and whatever caused it was never revealed. This next entry brings us back to DarkGhost, a Russian paranormal investigator who has encountered some truly terrifying entities. However, this latest video possibly takes the prize in what he himself describes as the scariest house he has ever investigated. An email with coordinates led him to the location in question, according to the message text. The girl who sent it said an elderly couple once lived there and experienced many disturbing events, mostly from the basement. Among them were unexplainable noises, even full conversations, and something trying to open the basement from below. After the couple passed away, the house was inherited by their relatives. However, they refused to move in, and the house has been abandoned ever since. Dark's investigation starts off quietly. and he claims he hasn't experienced anything, and it's already almost 11:30 p.m. He then proceeds to install stationary cameras, and that's when all the activity begins. Not long after leaving the room, the static camera witnesses a glass moving on its own, sliding close to the edge of the shelf it's on. None of the other glasses are disturbed, and it wasn't hit by anything, since it wouldn't slide that way if it had been. It's almost as if something is pushing or pulling it. Then it tips over the edge and breaks. Dark was in the middle of explaining to his camera what he did when he heard the glass break. And that's when things get really ugly. Without warning, the whole house starts shaking aggressively, enough to make bricks collapse from the ceiling. This lasts just a few seconds before ending as suddenly as it began. This YouTuber, although stunned, fortunately came out unscathed and moves to assess the damage. While inspecting the kitchen, where the static camera is, he is startled by what sounds like a floorboard being pushed up, followed by several loud bangs from another room. It literally sounds like a fist hitting a wall or a floor, or very heavy footsteps, but it's hard to tell. Inspired by what has happened to him, Dark decides to start an electronic voice phenomenon session in an attempt to communicate with whatever is there. He starts by asking if anyone from the spirit world is present, and despite not receiving an immediate response, eventually the device comes back with a "help us." He keeps urging the entity to identify itself, and soon it replies, "We have been trapped." When he asks where, the answer is, "He trapped us down here." Clearly, there are multiple spirits communicating here, each with conflicting requests. After repeated requests to open the basement, an entity replies chillingly, "I will deliberately eat your heart." For now, it's clear that one of the entities there has malicious intentions toward DarkGhost. Though he first says he won't open the basement, some provocative replies spark his curiosity. So he lifts the floorboard and goes down. At first, he tries to use a remote-controlled car equipped with a camera, but unfortunately, the camera's battery runs out. Despite his better judgment, he will venture down himself. After crawling for a few minutes without incident, he finds a small bone in the dirt. And as he looks closer, a sudden noise, like something hitting metal, can be heard in front of him. At the same time, his static camera in the basement hole captures a shadowy figure against the kitchen cabinets. As it fades, he appears and says he heard hissing below. While replacing the boards, a loud hiss makes him flee the hole. This proves too much for him, so fearing for his safety, he returns the board to the floor and decides to leave it for the night. But what we need to ask ourselves is, who is the other poor soul trapped here, wishing to warn others not to fall for the lies told by the other spirit? A woman says ending her relationship brought no relief and actually made things worse. According to her, her ex-boyfriend had something dark attached to him, something his own family talked about casually, as if it were normal. That's when she started connecting the dots. The inexplicable electrical problems in her house, objects moving on their own, strange incidents the family had silently lived with for many years. Then, after the breakup, she captured this clip filmed when they were no longer together, and it convinced her that whatever was there hadn't been left behind. She says this wasn't the first or even the most disturbing incident. Later, she described what happened to his sister. She woke up one morning to find her puppy dead and all the plants in the house completely wilted overnight. While she was still living there, she experienced sudden cold spots, locked doors creaking open by themselves, and shadows moving where there was nothing to cast them. Some nights it felt like something was walking from room to room. Now that she has left, she believes that presence has followed her. Many people call it a prowler, something that isn't tied to a house or a person, but moves around feeding on stress, conflict, and emotional confusion. Whether it attached itself to her or chose her, no one knows. But based on this recording, one thing seems very clear. Whatever was stalking that family may not be done with them yet. The Stones River Paranormal team is investigating a haunted courthouse in Tennessee when something truly strange happens. One of them is talking about how cold his hands feel when suddenly one of the double doors leading to the bathroom unlocks and slams shut. The team tries to recreate the situation to see if it's just a loose hinge or a faulty lock, but that doesn't seem to be the case at all. The door has no trouble staying open for the rest of the night and doesn't close again. Long before this particular room was remodeled, it was used as a prison for captured Union soldiers during the Civil War. It only makes sense that paranormal activity would occur in this historic corner of the courthouse. In the early morning hours, the security cameras inside what appears to be a hall or a training space captured something unsettling. It's just after 4 a.m., long after anyone should be inside, and the room is completely still. No movement, no sound. Then, without warning, the camera suddenly detects movement, and what it records is chilling. The emergency exit door slowly opens on its own, revealing only darkness beyond the frame. No one comes in, nothing moves. After staying open for a moment, the door quietly closes, inch by inch, as if guided by an invisible hand. Just as the room falls silent again, one of the mannequin heads, perfectly lined up on a shelf, suddenly tips over and crashes to the floor. Seconds later, several items on the counter below are snatched away, dragged in quick succession without explanation, without any visible cause. Whatever opened that door didn't leave quietly, and it clearly wanted the owners to know it had been there. Is this the angriest poltergeist in the world? Published by Paranoia in December 2021. When the team arrives at this place in the mountains, they quickly discover that they are not alone. They enter the building and hear more and more banging noises. When the camera turns toward the door, you can briefly see a pale face looking around. More banging erupts upstairs, and it sounds like they're throwing things down to keep the team from going up. They go out again, and the banging continues. This has caused one of the team members to burst into hysterical laughter. Then the door swings open. Inside, things keep getting tossed everywhere. They return to the stairs and finally venture upstairs, even though the poltergeist doesn't let up. Back downstairs, a large iron pole is thrown, and they hear what sound like footsteps above them. When they get upstairs, they probably wish they hadn't. After more torment from the poltergeist, something peeks around the corner again. Is this what's causing all the chaos? If so, the power from this small figure is truly terrifying. Late at night, Jake was recording when he suddenly ran into his sister's room holding a bottle of hot sauce, and clearly not expecting anything unusual to happen. Laughing, he turns the camera toward the bed, but his tone changes almost instantly. A teddy bear sits beside his sister, and as soon as Jake speaks, it slowly tips over on its own. Jake tells her the stuffed animal just fell over. She barely reacts, calmly asking what he means as if nothing had happened at all. Then something much worse happens.
Or say something awkward.
Without anyone touching it, the stuffed animal suddenly shakes and slides toward the center of the bed. It doesn't roll or fall naturally. It moves aggressively in one motion, as if pushed. The change is quick, forceful, and completely unnatural. Both panic instantly. Laughter and jokes vanish, replaced by screams. While Jake pulls the camera away, they quickly get off the bed and run out of the room as the recording cuts off. Viewers later pointed out how unnatural this movement was, especially compared to the first fall. Jake insists that neither of them touched the stuffed animal, and that nothing like this had ever happened in that room before. To this day, he says it's one of the most unsettling moments he's ever captured. A British YouTuber named Scousmouse only stayed in his house for 3 more days after recording all these objects in his kitchen moving on their own. Play it in slow motion and you'll see the contents move right before the bottle is thrown. I don't think the contents inside would move like that if it were being pulled by a string. After this, he moved out of the house. A passenger traveling on a night train started recording after noticing something extremely unsettling inside the carriage. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary figure sitting silently among the empty seats, but the longer the camera lingered, the more wrong everything felt.
Talk to the staff or message the police, 61016. We'll fix it. Speak with the staff or send a message to the police, 61016. We'll fix it.
Some viewers believe that the figure didn't get on the train at all. They claimed that it appeared suddenly, as if it had slipped in from somewhere it didn't belong, another place, another time. And if that's true, then the real question is, how long had it already been there before anyone noticed? The Paranormal Nightmare team encounters a demon in this haunted house. When the team asks the demon to interact, it responds in kind. When one of the team members gives advice to another, there is an immediate retaliation.
Don't be nice to him, he's a demon. I've been here longer than you. Don't be nice to him. Here we go!
Something hit me right in the eye.
He's saying your name.
And when they tell the demon they're gonna stay, he responds.
We won't leave. We'll stay here all night. Oh, shit! What's your name?
After that, charge at one of them.
No, buddy, something just ran out.
And besides, it becomes challenging.
Wow, it turned off and said, "Wait, buddy."
That was right here again.
In my opinion, this house is 100% haunted. Can anyone get rid of the demon inside? I doubt anyone knows what it will do. On March 8th, 2023, Casey Lee was at home with his family when his son suddenly ran out of the hallway. Urgently trying to get his father's attention, he kept pointing toward the end of the hallway, insisting that his dad go see something right away. His panic seemed genuine, not exaggerated. Let's examine it further.
Dad!
What? What?
The ghost.
The ghost?
The ghost? Where?
There!
No, man.
Go get him!
Which room? What ghost?
The man!
I'm uneasy.
Go after him!
What does the ghost look like?
Like this!
Like this? Where is it?
In there.
Where?
In there.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Farther? Is it here? In front of me? There?
Yes, there.
In that room?
Yes.
Well, I'm not going in there. No, I don't know. Should we turn on the hallway light?
There's no ghost there.
Huh?
There's no ghost there.
There's no ghost there?
There's a ghost there.
Is there someone there? Is it a nice ghost? A friendly ghost?
Who is fighting with him?
Do you want to go fight with him? Fight with him?
Go get him!
What?
Let's go.
All right. It's okay.
No, there's no one here. No. I think we're okay.
Okay?
Yes!
Is the ghost big or small?
A big ghost.
A big ghost?
Yes.
Is the ghost a boy or a girl?
Casey said her son had noticed things before that others couldn't see. Months earlier, he pointed to a corner near a shoe rack, insisting that someone was standing there. They didn't think much of it until the motion-activated light suddenly turned on by itself, followed by the sound of something dragging across the tiles, exactly where he had pointed. Since then, they've learned not to dismiss what he says so quickly, and that's why this latest incident has been bothering them so much. The next day, the family's 2 dogs started barking aggressively at the same corner of the house, right at the end of the hallway, where their son had been staring intently. Whatever it was that caught his attention, the animal seemed to sense it too. And until more updates are shared, this case will remain a complete mystery. YouTuber Mark Johnson and his team are investigating paranormal activity in Colorado's supposedly haunted Cave of the Winds. Apparently, whatever is down there with them lacks patience and won't wait until they're done setting up the equipment to start.
I'll probably turn on the spirit box in a minute.
None of them hear the noise until they check the tape, which I find strange because the camera picks it up very well. Was the sound truly paranormal or possibly just their equipment? Crawling on the floor a little later, they caught 2 orbs as they walked, followed by this scream. I think the scream was probably a supernatural encounter because it happens in the middle of a conversation. Everything else is normal, but listen to this part and tell me, what do you think? Finally, this strange invisible light source magically flickers after Mark Johnson asks for spiritual confirmation.
Is there someone in this part of the cave here with me?
The strange thing is how the shiny effect disappears when Mark shines his flashlight on the patch of ground. There's really no reason for an object to suddenly stop reflecting light like that, especially when it was reflecting light just 2 seconds earlier. In my opinion, the reflection should have become brighter when a direct beam of light was shined on it, not disappeared completely, which makes me think that all of this might be real. This explorer visits the San Saba prison, a place that many believe is haunted, not just because of the legend, but because of a very violent past. Built in the mid-17th century, the prison became the scene of brutal conflicts between Spanish settlers and local tribes, with historical accounts describing attacks, torture, and lives lost on this very ground. Late at night, while exploring the ruin alone, the man records with his phone in one hand and a flashlight in the other as he scans the corner of a stone structure. Something completely unexpected enters the frame. A dark shadow suddenly appears. Look closely.
This is the room I'm in. There's the K2, there's the wall.
There's the wall all the way to the corner. What makes this moment unsettling is where he's standing. He's with his back to a corner, with no nearby objects that could cast a moving shadow like that. You can see both his hands, one holding the phone steady and the other the flashlight. However, the shadow moves in the opposite direction when viewers pause the recording frame by frame. Another detail stands out for a split second. The shadow seems to have horn-like protrusions, giving it a clearly disturbing shape. That single detail sparked an intense debate across the entire internet. Given San Saba Prison's violent past and reputation for fear and suffering, some believe what was once captured never truly left these grounds. What do you think? Is it just a trick of the light, or does something remain here? This case takes us to a hospital in India where an inexplicable phenomenon was captured. The main character is Daniel, who during a night shift, in a ward where there shouldn't have been anyone, witnessed something that defies all logic.
This door opens and closes by itself. There's no one here and I'm not passing by the sensor, but it keeps opening and closing. I'm alone
The video shows us the hospital immersed in a sepulchral silence. The lighting is dim and gloomy. The only thing you can hear is the buzzing of the machines and Daniel's own footsteps. In front of him, there's an automatic door with a motion sensor, which is designed to open only when it detects a physical presence. Suddenly, the door starts to open by itself. Daniel looks around. There's no one, no drafts that could explain the movement. And yet, the door opens and closes softly, as if someone invisible were coming in and out of that room. Naturally, many viewers suggested that it could be just a simple sensor malfunction. However, medical workers from all over the world say they've experienced very similar things. Daniel insisted this was not staged or a joke. Hospitals are undoubtedly special places, spaces where the line between life and death becomes blurred and is constantly crossed. They are places where strong emotions accumulate day and night, lives are saved and lives are lost. When something moves in an empty hospital in the early hours of the morning, it might not be a mechanical failure or a draft. Maybe it's a message from a presence from another plane. A YouTube channel called Secret Guides published this video in 2017, claiming it was video evidence of paranormal poltergeist activity that was sent by a subscriber who lived in a very haunted place.
See, this is what happens to me all the time. Do you hear that? The banging?
They move stealthily through their apartment as more strange things are caught on camera. Each moment is creepier than the last. The terrifying noises continue, and now the television has turned on by itself.
What is that?
What is that? It looks like a shadow figure that silently slips through the door, and when he goes to the next room to investigate, it's already gone.
Oh God, you saw that, right? It looked like a human.
This creepy video looks convincingly paranormal, but the Secret Guides team themselves claimed that they found out the video was fake. Apparently, there was a second person walking around, making the banging noises and turning on the television. As for the sighting of the shadow figure, notice how this side of the room was never checked. His friend must have been hiding in the corner where they never looked. There's no reason not to believe what they say, so I guess this video is really made up. If you see this video somewhere else, now you know the real story. An important lesson to learn from this video is not to be immediately fooled by a high-resolution ghost sighting. And don't feel bad if you've been fooled, because I have too. Thank you for watching the video. Only the brave make it this far. Leave your like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more horror. Have some good nightmares. Day.